No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. A woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong it is until it's in hot water. Do one thing every day that scares you. Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized anyway. You wouldn't worry so much about what others think of you if you realized how seldom they do. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. The purpose of life is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly, and without fear for newer and richer experience. Many people will walk in and out of your life, but only true friends will leave footprints in your heart. No matter how plain a woman may be, if truth and honesty are written across her face, she will be beautiful. We are afraid to care too much, for fear that the other person does not care at all. To handle yourself, use your head. To handle others, use your heart. You can often change your circumstances by changing your attitude. Beautiful young people are accidents of nature, but beautiful old people are works of art. If someone betrays you once, it's their fault. If they betray you twice, it's your fault. With the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. Life was meant to be lived, and curiosity must be kept alive. One must never, for whatever reason, turn his back on life. Life is what you make it. Always has been, always will be. What could we accomplish if we knew we could not fail? You have to accept whatever comes, and the only important thing is that you meet it with the best you have to give. Friendship with oneself is all important, because without it one cannot be friends with anyone else in the world. Never mistake knowledge for wisdom. One helps you make a living. The other helps you make a life. No one won the last war, and no one will win the next war. When will our consciences grow so tender that we will act to prevent human misery rather than avenge it? I think, at a child's birth, if a mother could ask a fairy godmother to endow it with the most useful gift, that gift would be curiosity. I believe that anyone can conquer fear by doing the things he fears to do. I think that somehow we learn who we really are, and then live with that decision. Remember always that you have not only the right to be an individual, you have an obligation to be one. You cannot make any useful contribution in life unless you do this. People grow through experience, if they meet life honestly and courageously. This is how character is built. A stumbling block to the pessimist is a stepping stone to the optimist. It isn't enough to talk about peace. One must believe in it. And it isn't enough to believe in it. One must work at it. When you cease to make a contribution, you begin to die. There is not a human being from whom we cannot learn something, if we are interested enough to dig deep. I am who I am today because of the choices I made yesterday. We have to face the fact that either all of us are going to die together, or we are going to learn to live together, and if we are to live together we have to talk. The only things one can admire, at length, are those one admires, without knowing why. Remember always, that you not only have the right to be an individual, you have an obligation to be one. Character building begins in our infancy, and continues until death. Will people ever be wise enough to refuse to follow bad leaders, or to take away the freedom of other people? He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. There is nothing to fear, except fear itself. If man is to be liberated to enjoy more leisure, he must also be prepared to enjoy this leisure fully and creatively. The greatest gift you can give a child is an imagination. Each time you learn something new, you must readjust the whole framework of your knowledge. No one can make you feel inferior without your permission. Only a man's character is the real criterion of worth.